Hi there guys, it's Mike and Meg here from McQbushcraft.
Hi guys.
We're out doing some camping, just some wild camping in this woodland here. We've been walking for quite some time, just tracking around the woodland, and we found this really nice location. Down here we have a nice water source, a little stream, a little bit turbid from the rain over the last few weeks, but it's good enough. But we have some high winds and rain coming in, so we've got to get the tarp up, get everything ready for this evening, make sure that the camp is fairly comfortable and adequate for dealing with that kind of weather. Even though we're here for just one night, you want to be dry and comfortable. So we thought we'd take you along with us, show you how we get everything set up, and hopefully later on when we settle down we can get some cooking on the go. Most of you have seen the tarp setup that I use in this quick deployment setup, which allows me to put the tarp up really quickly. So this is the tarp setup I've gone with. We've got a nice slanted bit just down the back there, and that's runoff for the rain, and in heavy rain it's really important to have that. Also helps you collect water as well. If you run a piece of cord down from one of the end tabs, or even if it's just dripping, you can put your canteen there and get fresh water, unlike the dirty stuff that's going to be down in that river, loads of soil that needs filtering out. But we've kept it drawn down at the back there. A lot of the winds are coming in up this sort of ravine area here, the steeper part of the woodland, and if we pad out this drafty spot down here later with a little bit of wood, maybe some debris and leaves, then it will cut the draft out. But it's looking quite good, it's nice and high as well. I don't like tarps that are squashed to the ground. In all honesty, I like them even higher than this, but because of the winds we've got to be sensible, and the rain as well, or else we'll get wet, because it's only a 3x3. But the letter of the day now is wood. Because it's been raining, we need dead standing, so we'll go and look for that. I've sent Megan off to look for some tinder, see if she can find some birch bark or something easy to light the fire with, rather than feather sticks. A lot of stuff around here is very damp at the moment. But this is Hazel, Avalania, and it produces a lot of dead standing wood, almost all year round. You can see here, lots and lots of dead wood all over this hazel here. It's dry, dead standing wood, doesn't absorb moisture like the wood off the ground. So if it's off the ground, it's perfect for this kind of weather. But I'm going to gather lots of wood just like this, huge bunches, and if we got some decent tinder or we have a feather stick, the fire will get going in no time. Looks like you found some decent bark.
Yeah, a few sheets.
Looks alright, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's always thin around here, the bark. Birch grows thickest where the climate is coldest. And unfortunately here in the British Isles in the south, it's certainly not that cold anymore. So it doesn't grow very thick, and you want it thick really. But this will be okay, it will help. Nice one. So that's the softwoods dealt with. That was hazel. We've got lots of hazel, some really big stuff too. You should have big pieces like this when the fire's really going. You don't want to be topping it up all the time, doing trips away from camp, finding wood all throughout the night. You really want to just have the fire going and be able to maintain it, so get the job done while it's light. But this is the softwoods. Really what we want now is some ash and oak or hawthorn, which are hot burners that we can put on, especially as a raft on the ground first, and that will give us a really good bed of embers for cooking, but also keep the fire going almost all night without us having to venture out and get more wood. This looks like some ash here. It certainly is. This is Fraxinus excelsior, the ash tree, and lots of different types of ash. This is just a variety that we have in the British Isles, and it's very cankered if you look at the bark, but we've got a nice dead piece here. Ash is really springy, and even though it looks a bit sort of tattered because of the bark, actually underneath the wood will be really hard, and this is dead standing. So if we bring this over, but this will be a decent piece of timber to put on the ground to turn into a good bed of embers for us, along with the other piece that went over there. Everything's very damp, even this bark. You have to be so careful with it, not keep it clumped together too often, or else what will happen is you'll smother it. Very sensitive. You can see it's already starting to smother a bit, and then when you pick the bark up, let a bit of air in it, it comes alive a little bit more. And we'll just keep feeding it little shavings, keeping them burning on the edges, so not lying them on flat like that, but on the edges like this, and they burn really volatile. We don't really need any more of this bark. There's plenty around, so I'll just put it on without trying to smother anything. We can get all of our twigs and put them over just like this, and they won't actually touch the fire because of this large log at the back. And that really helps us keep the oxygen in there. We should have a good bed of embers in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 at most. But that's looking good now. We just want to let it evolve. turning into quite a nice day. The rain's sort of held off for us for the time being and the afternoon's looking pretty clear. And the fire's dying down now into a really good bed of embers, almost ready to cook on. Got a little bit more time yet. And I made a simple bench. Kneeling by a fire isn't very comfortable, so sitting down is way more comfortable for the both of us really, instead of this damp clay on your knees all the time. But yeah, you're going to be doing a little bit of camp cooking, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some leftover vegetable chilli that I made the other day. I used a couple of vegetables from my allotment, and I brought some flatbread mixture so that we can make that up and cook that on the fire too. So hopefully it'll keep us nice and warm this evening.
Yeah, should be nice. It's sort of the kind of food we really eat when we're out camping together. You can bring leftovers with you and make things like flatbreads, provide you with a bit of carbohydrate, so should be really nice. But yeah, I'll try and give you a hand, and yeah, we'll crack on.
Brilliant. So I'm going to go over the utensils and the ingredients that I brought with us to make our dinner. I've made this rolling pin earlier. We've got the dry mixture here, which is gluten-free flour, 200 grams, a pinch of salt, a quarter teaspoon of baking powder, a quarter teaspoon of xanthan gum. As some of you might know, I'm celiac, so I have to eat gluten-free, and that puts the elasticity back into gluten-free flour. Then we have a bit of oil, which we'll add a couple of drops into that mixture. And then we have the vegetable chilli, which I made the other night. Some of it's got the kale and purple sprouting from the allotment, so I'm excited to try that out. Then we also have a container, which I'm going to make the mixture in, the dough. I'm going to knead it into this container. So let's get started. So we've got the dry mixture now in the canteen. I'm going to add the oil to the mixture. Not all of it, I'm just going to add a couple of spoons full. I'm going to mix that in. And then we're going to gradually add our lukewarm water. Until it turns into a nice dough.
While Megs is making the dough, this is where the real chef work begins. Heating up the chilli. I'm not the best cook. I'm more of one of these basic eaters when I'm out, but when Megs is with me I tend to eat quite well.
Looks good.
Does it really good, very healthy. We eat quite a lot of vegetables, don't we? Meg grows a lot of things on her allotment when the season's right. That's kind of the way it's been for a while, isn't it? You grow lots of stuff and I go out and do quite a bit of hunting.
Yeah, exactly. So I grow potatoes, kale, purple sprouting, onions. Oh, the list goes on. Yeah, it's a good way of living.
Yeah, it's alright. It's a shame we don't have more, sort of area to grow more actually. That's always the limitation when you don't own your own sort of area, like land basically, isn't it? In this country. It's not quite like that maybe in other parts of the world, but I'm just going to push this into the embers and just let it warm up. You don't want the fire too hot when you're cooking. It's a mistake that a lot of people make. You want it like this, where it's literally just embers. It'll be very hot in the core, but you can manage heat a lot better with a fire like that. Flame is for boiling water, embers are for cooking food. Just going to add a little bit of water to this as well. It stops it burning.
Moss. So when you're cooking flatbreads on the embers like this, it only takes about a couple of minutes on each side and then you're done and ready to eat. That's done. Brilliant, let's eat.
Really good. This is one useful reason why being near a water source is so helpful really when you're around a campsite, even just for a night, because you can wash things. This water isn't particularly clean. I'm quite suspicious of it actually in terms of agricultural runoff, and what we'd need to do is use it to wash things with, but then actually put it by the fire and let it dry out completely with heat, and that will sterilise it. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We just thought we'd bring you along for our little outing here, or some of it anyway. We're going to get this camp squared away now, sort the tarp out and get our bed rolls together and get ready for the evening. So just a thanks to Meg as well for doing the cooking.
You're most welcome, hope you enjoy it.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching and see you next time.